Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. Today's guest is Ian Lara. Check him out on social media and check out his HBO special now. Ian's a very good comedian. He's based in New York City. He's all over the road. I'm also on the road. Come see Papa Colum, which is a nickname I just created, which I will never do again. I've got dates coming up in Philadelphia, September 20th. Make sure you check that out. Also, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. September 12th, the day after a certain date, my debut comedy special is coming out right here on this very channel. If you're listening, head off to YouTube, search Colum Tyrrell, find the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon. September 12th, check it out. This is an opportunity for you to just click on that special. We will get the numbers through the roof. I can tour, and all my enemies will die a horrible, slow death. Help me destroy the people who stood in my way, okay? And they know who they are. You know who you are. All right, yeah. So Philadelphia, September 20th. Obviously, Skankfest, Vegas, Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Bay Area, Wisconsin, San Diego, Denver, Toronto, and I'm adding more dates all the time. All those tickets are available at columtyrrell.com. Patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. Also, if you want to support this podcast, support me, head over for as little as $5 a month. You get these episodes 5 days early, ad-free, uncensored. You also get a bonus episode every single week, which is just me on my own, no one around, and it's just me with the rambling, crazy thoughts that go through my head. You may love that. You may love that. You might despise it and hate it. You get a little peep inside of the mental illness that is fetal alcohol syndrome, whatever that was. Fetal, like a fetus, fetal alcohol syndrome. All right, enjoy the show. It's the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. First time guest, Ian Lara.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you. I can't believe it's the first time. This is the first time I'm here.
Yeah. I don't know why. Just I always sort of book people who are just like around. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm around.
I don't know.
I see you all the time.
I don't know. You've never. Hey, my DMs are open. I'm promoting a show in Syracuse. I need to get the bump. I need that Collie tea bump. I have a casino just outside of the city that needs.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. It's a cool setup. This feels like the Tonight Show.
It does kind of like that. Yeah, it's supposed to be a bit more casual, you know?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a bit more casual. I'm always playing around with the studio without ever actually making the show better, which is I'm always like, what if we get new cameras? Will that change the thing?
I think that's it. It's all aesthetic now.
That's
Who cares
all my whole
what you're
life.
talking about? It's how it looks.
My whole life is just spending hours upon the tiniest little detail. That people at home going, this is not relevant.
Yeah,
Make the actual content
I
good.
think it is. When I see something where the setup is nice, I'll watch a whole show just to look at the wallpaper.
Yeah,
This is good.
What do you think of this wallpaper?
I think it's not bad. I think it's not. I don't get it, but I don't think it's bad.
Well, you know what it was? My first time ever putting wallpaper on a wall. First of all, I built this wall.
Did you?
This is a prosthetic wall.
Okay.
So shout out, ladies.
They don't have to know that.
Who needs to? Well, no, I want the women to know.
Oh, okay. That you know how to build?
I can't do much, but I can build a wall.
Oh, yeah.
When I imprison you.
Yeah.
Just in case that woman ever wants the window covered up with plywood.
Right, yeah.
I can do that.
There you go.
This wallpaper was like the cheapest wallpaper I could get because I've never wallpapered before, and I was like, I didn't want to splash out on something very nice.
No, this is great. You don't need more than this.
Nah, it's good. It's all good. Yeah. But nowadays, people's podcasts, they just record in their car on their phone. They don't care.
Yeah, I feel like it's two extremes. There's people that they're recording in like a porta potty, and then there's people that rent out 30 Rock.
Yes.
to record. There's no middle when you do these podcasts.
Well, also, it's always the same type of people. If you're renting out a high-end studio, usually it's like, let's get to the bottom of dating. You know, there's always an agenda.
Yeah.
Whereas the guys sitting around talking about cum,
that's
when they're on a couch.
Yeah,
it would be crazy if you rented out a proper high-end studio audience. And then you go up there and go like, all right, how much to suck someone's dick?
Yeah. I'm 100,000.
How many casinos? Because we just talked about it, how many casinos do you reckon you go to a year?
Casinos?
Yeah, just because of comedy.
Well, I mean, not that much. Probably like 4 or 5 for me.
Yeah, but
I used to do more.
They're horrible. Like,
yeah, they're horrible.
The actual casino world, I don't like at all. I don't like the lights. I don't like the ching. I don't like everyone up all night.
No, yeah. I think at best, and a show at a casino, like when it's at its highest, it's like okay. Like at the best, it was like fine.
Yeah.
And then at the worst, it's the worst.
It's horrible. I would never, out of my own free will, like go to a casino. Like that would not be a thing where I'm like, the boys are going to a casino. I was like, never. Yeah. Tell me how it goes.
Like gambling, like I don't mind like gambling. Like I kind of, because doing these gigs, I kind of like I learned how to play blackjack and I learned how to play roulette, and I can play.
Yeah. I had a bit of that with craps. Yeah.
Yeah, I can play. I do Aruba. When I play Aruba, the hotel has a casino at the bottom, and I do it with Aruba Ray, and he's like a professional gambler, so I'll go with him, and he taught me how to like play all the things, and it's fine.
Aruba with Ray.
Yeah, I couldn't go by myself like and just play, but when I'm there, like it's like when in Rome, you know?
Yeah.
Kinda like when in Vegas.
I understand. Yeah.
I like to like wear like if I'm in Vegas, like I like to like wear like a suit and go gamble like a 2-piece suit. And
you're right.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Maybe that's what I'll do for one of the days in Skankfest. We should have a suit.
I'm going.
You're going?
This year,
We should do a suit day.
Yeah, we should.
I'll get one of those. You know those like blue pinstripes, but they have like the white collar and the white thing.
Yeah,
some people think I'm insider trading.
It's in old Vegas too, which is like that's how they used to have to dress like that.
Yes, let's bring back fucking suits on planes too. Airplanes. I want people dressed up.
Yeah,
like they're going to prom on an airplane. That used to be the thing. It was like a 5-hour flight from here to Buffalo.
Yeah,
and you would like put on a 3-piece and
you had to. The Wind in Vegas, I think they tried to implement that, but people are just so shitty.
Yeah,
they had like no customers, like no one went. Well, they're like, all right, wear whatever you want.
Yeah, Vegas is scum. Really. They're not suit wearing folks.
It used to be you were though,
but nowadays it's
now it's flip flops,
Tampa Bay
jean
Bucks
shorts,
jerseys.
and an American flag.
It's horrible.
Shirt.
But I did. You think? Because I was doing a show and I saw Bill Burr's in the same casino, obviously different room, like the following week. And I go, no matter how successful you get, you still have to come back to these fucking dump of casinos.
Yeah, it's just,
he must have helicopter in though.
Yeah,
do the show
you helicopter in and you're making $100,000 more than what we're making, which might argue that's like better, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You just never get away from it.
At the end of the day, we're under the same roof, right?
You're still looking at the same pigs.
Yeah.
You're still just going, it's not, there's just more of the people you don't want.
Yeah. I mean, if you're lucky enough to like do those big rooms in Vegas, that means you're like super successful. Because it's like you could do the normal rooms, which is like when you're a mid-level, and then super successful, you're doing like those Bill Burr rooms.
Yeah.
Like somebody was telling me they was at the Wind and in Vegas, which is the #1 hotel in Vegas.
The Wind.
Yeah,
not the Wind.
No, yeah. I said I didn't say the D. I didn't say the D. But
you
it sounded like
said D.
I said the Wind.
Roll the tape. Run it back.
I just have a list.
Write that in and run it back. We're going Rick Glassman on this episode.
I said the Wind, Encore in the Wind, which is the #1 hotel.
Yeah.
And they saw like flyers for like Tim Dillon and Mateo, and I'm like, shit, that's huge. Like Tim Dillon, like at the fucking Wind. I was like, damn, that's dope. I started with Tim. I saw him like, girl, now he's fucking shouting out the Wind.
Yeah. Tim's big. It's fun seeing guys you start out with become multimillionaires.
Yeah, it is. And Tim always kind of lived like he was. So
Tim always had always had an attitude of, because I look back now, it's like when I used to know Tim, and Tim would be doing like the Creek in the Cave live.
Yeah.
And like remember going, oh wow, he's like made it. Like he always had this, and then now I'm like, what a terrible show to be doing. But like he was always this.
Yeah. Even I remember auditioning for like Montreal Just for Laughs with Tim Dillon, and he had the I made it already attitude. Like at the New Faces audition, he already had.
He was always like, this does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, shame it's not 10 years ago, huh? Right? Yeah. What are we doing here? Huh?
Yeah.
What, I got a sitcom? He's always just... Yeah. It's great to know him. What an unusual beast, you know?
Yeah. And he's like, he's a New York guy, like Long Island guy, which I'm like from New York too. So it's like, before, like, to a lot of people is like strange, but I'm like, no, I knew that guy. Like, I knew that type of person. Yeah. Like the person who behaves that way. Like Tim, before, just like a New York attitude guy. So I always like loved him for that.
All right, you fat fucks. Sorry to interrupt the show, the free show, but we got an ad read, which will actually benefit you. What size are you? How big is your fat ass? You got big tits? Huh? Buddy? You got big old fucking man tits? Time to get rid of that. That's not cool. It's not cool to be fat and disgusting. I know they tried to push it on us. Big, fat, big cellulite, big women. Tried to push it on us. It's not good. You're unhealthy. All right? Put the fucking chocolate down. Start moving your body. Oh, but it's so hard to cook. Well, now I've got the solution if it's so hard to cook. We've got meal prep. And it's brought to you by Factor. Stop listening to 16-year-old TikTokers when taking on a new diet or nutrition routine. You know the way we're always listening to 16-year-olds. When you're a 48-year-old man and you're trying to lose weight, you go straight to TikTok and you listen to these TikTokers. There are so many books and articles about losing weight. But the truth is, make your life easier and let Factor take the guesswork out of meal times for you. This is genuinely like a godsend. This is actually a good thing. Imagine just waking up and going, all right, all my meals are ready. That's all you got to do. Take away the thinking. See, that's the problem is you guys keep thinking. They say that about self-help books will never help you because they're asking you, a fat moron, to help yourself. That cannot be done. You got to let someone else help you. And that's how we do it here. I've had a few people been using this product and they've all told me it's absolutely amazing. Look, make your life easier and let Factor take away the guesswork out of mealtime for you. They're America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. And they deliver dietitian-approved meals right to your door. You'll save tons of time. Pa-cha-ching! Eat well and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. With over 34 meals to choose from, it's almost like too many options. It's almost like too many meals, right? Do you ever go into like a restaurant and then there's like 8 pages of stuff, like a diner, and they got like a surf and turf and a lamb gyro on the same menu, and you go, what are you? But this is good, I guess. This is good. 34 meals, and you'll never get bored. So you pretty much, you order it, all your meals are ready, and then you eat that. That's all you eat. No McDonald's, no nothing else. Stop eating the other stuff, and this is all you eat, and then you'll lose the weight, and you'll finally get respected by everyone. Like, unless you're a billionaire, if you're a billionaire, you don't need to worry about being fat. Be as fat as you want. But if you're a regular person, it's not good. And that's a personal endorsement for anti-fatness. Let you level up. With over 34 meals to choose from each week, you'll never get bored, and their Gourmet Plus options let you level up. Woo! And you can add ingredients such as truffle butter and asparagus. Head to factormeals.com/Collie50 and use code Collie50 to get 50% off. 50%? That's almost half. That's like almost half. That's code Collie50 at factormeals.com/Collie50 to get 50% off. There will be a link in the show notes. We'll give you all the information. All right, back to the Collie tea. I'm like that with construction. I've met a lot of Joey Diaz types.
Yeah.
Not necessarily New Jersey or Cuban, but that type of that loud fuck yeah, just slur, just like you barely understand them, but you go, was that a slur in there?
Yeah.
Fucking freaks, you're fucking
That's like Jersey, New York, tri-state, like construction.
Just an overweight union guy. Overweight union guy.
Union guys.
Does it.
Yeah.
That's how sometimes I watch Joey Diaz and I go, I wonder if he even knows how funny he is at times, or is he just being.
I mean, I never met him, but I think he's just being him, dude. I used to work at the airport, and when I worked at the airport, it was like one of those jobs where like you see like guys are just like that, like that's just how they behave, and they think that like they're just them. That they like it's great to see. I hate to see when somebody's putting it on, but when you're just you, it's just amazing. Yeah,
some people are just born; they're just naturally. Like that.
And I think your environment like makes you that a little bit. You kind of see other people doing it and then you just grow up and you think that's like the way.
Yeah. Are you from Queens?
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn and I grew up in
Far
Queens.
out a little bit? Kind of suburby a little bit? Or
A
whereabouts?
little, not too far. I grew up in South Ozone Park, which is right by JFK.
Oh, yeah. Henry Hill.
Yeah, right there.
Any mob still there?
Yeah, a couple blocks away from the bar from Goodfellas.
Okay,
I grew
sick.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my
those are the
growing.
weird parts of New York where it's like, I think it's kind of a little bit hard to get to by train, right? So you get a lot of suburby families out there.
It's a little bit suburban. Like we have driveways and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's like
houses.
Maspeth is an area where
I went to high school in Maspeth.
So people from there, they're like, because New York always anywhere along the trains, it seems like a lot of people come and go, but that's like a little bit more residential, you know?
Yeah.
Bayside, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I lived off the A train, like last stop on the A train, but there are sections in Queens where like the train ends and there's like a long strip where there's nothing, like you gotta get on bus.
And that's when you get the, and that's when you get the real, because Tim always said about Long Island people being great at comedy because they're not city, but they're close enough that they get it. And then they're kind of conservative country in a way too, so they get a good balance. That's why they always produce such good stand-up.
I actually went to college in Long Island, so I saw like all the things of New York. And definitely when you do those clubs out east, you do feel like, damn, I'm not in New York no more.
Yeah.
But sometimes
I love getting out of New York though, to hear a joke that or at least a topic or whatever that gets okay in New York, and then suddenly it goes great out there.
Yeah.
And then have the flip side too, where you go, oh, here's a great one for them, and then they're like, nah,
I like it
Coast.
too. But I've been like almost every state, and sometimes it's weird when I'm like, I've been to like, I don't know, like whatever conservative, like let's say Nebraska, right? And when you do a show in Nebraska, sometimes it don't feel as like conservative like thing as when you do it in Long Island, because like in Long Island I feel like it's like a backlash to the city, so they're like, we're the opposite of this. And it's like in the real ultra conservative places, like I don't even think Nebraska's that conservative, but in the real ultra conservative places, they're like, it's just them. They're not like,
they've got nothing to prove.
They're not like like in Long Island they'll be like, fuck these liberals, and you're like, all right.
There's almost like not an inferiority complex, but like they're always trying to fight for their opinions or whatever. So, I get that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's funny.
Which I'm not like even like a big opinion guy.
No,
like I'm just like, whatever you think, man, I'm good. Like I'm not like, I don't like to sit here and debate, like, because at the end of the day, everybody's like pulling for like their interests and whatever benefits them more financially. And like I feel like if we accepted that, it would be better. Because
what do you mean?
Like everyone, like whatever your views are, if you really boil it down to, it probably is that because you think it benefits you more financially. Yeah, and that's okay. Yeah. It's okay to want to make more money and keep most of your money. Like I understand that. Of course. That's really what it boils down to. So it's like when you say something, oh, these two conservatives, like, he really just wants to keep his money, kind of, I think.
No, yeah, I get it. I get all that.
Yeah, which I get. That's fine. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Sometimes I've been on the road sometimes, and like I was at this club, and I was the waitress at the club. She was like a sweet lady, like sweetheart. She was like she was attending the green room the whole day. Sweet, kindest girl. And then on the last night, she was like a little older lady. On the last night, like we started talking a little bit, and then she kind of starts alluding how she's like a QAnon. Like, and I'm like, what?
How do you allude to that? Like, what was the little hint?
Well, she starts going.
You know, Tom Hanks is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Have you heard this?
Yeah, like, you know,
just like casually.
I think it was something like that. She's like, oh, you've been to like Hollywood, you know, the pedophile ring that they're running off.
Based. What club was this? Shout out to this club.
Yeah, I don't want to say the club, but
shout out to the staff.
I was hilarious. And then the owner walks in and they're like, yeah, don't talk to her. She's
gonna go on one. Yeah. She's gonna go on one, man. Yeah. People get the problem is people get gobbled up in it. They get gobbled up in whatever they think, and you gotta chill out. Yeah. And just go to the beach and fucking chill out. Like no matter whatever you are. Yeah. There's a guy in Ireland. I was just laughing about him. He wrote a famous show called Father Ted, which is like Ireland's most successful show, even though I guess it's produced in England. But the guy, he wrote loads of shows. He's a famous writer. His name is Glinner. Google Glinner. What's his real name? Something Glyn. Anyway, he is a TERF, you know, like a TERF, like a trans something radical feminist. Yeah. A TERF. Yeah. So like he's a feminist, but they hate trans people. They're the feminists, but they exclude the trans.
They're extreme. Yeah.
They're extreme feminists, and they're such feminists that if you're
not a woman,
you're not a woman. You're fucking not in the group because they feel like those people are just joining in late. Like they've went through all of the struggle, and then they're joining in late, whatever. But he lost everything. He lost so he loves
for being a turf.
For being a turf, like he has some fodder. What was his name? Glenn, who wrote it? Graham Linehan, yeah. But he lost everything. Like he originally I think he started just supporting the Harry Potter woman. When, she said something.
That's like controversial.
Also, especially in England. First of all she said was that you shouldn't lose your job she was defending a woman who lost her job because she said there was only 2 genders or something. And then she was like, we can't be firing people for this stuff. And that's when but then it just snowballed into, you go, stop, we had you. Jordan Peterson was like that too. He's like, you can't legally make me say anything. That's crazy. And we're like, I understand that. And then he's like, Elliot Page is the devil.
Yeah. Dude, it snowballs, man. You start talking, it just snowballs. I see that on Instagram all the time. Like you have people like I don't know if Jordan Peterson is like one of these guys, but like you ever seen those videos that go viral where it's just a guy who like shuts down a transgender person at some type of like
Ben
meeting.
Shapiro destroys.
But then you see him at like other event and you see him doing it multiple times, and I'm like, is this your career? Like, do you just travel around the country trying to shut down? Like, what kind of life is that? Like, get a fucking job. Like, you're just traveling to different town hall meetings to shut down with transgender people?
Look, my problem with all of these guys is we don't get enough of we never really see the little peek behind the curtain, a little bit of a wink, just a little bit of, we're all just fucking around here, right? Like Ben Shapiro does a 25-minute thing about the Barbie movie is like a disgrace to mankind or whatever, and you go, all right, this is just foolish now. Yeah. Like, but I would like to see him just go, I gotta make content. What do you want?
Yeah, see, that's my problem. Like, I can't stay in character long enough. Like, I'll try to say something, and then I'll just be like, I'm bullshitting.
I don't actually believe anything.
I don't believe anything I'm saying.
What am I supposed to say, that I don't care about the Barbie movie? Or am I supposed to say that it was sent by Lucifer to ruin our children? Like, what am I supposed to say here? Because
that's true.
I have adverts. I'm trying to sell you pills.
Everywhere he goes, he's like, he has to like stay in the thing.
But even on a lower level, we'll get it. If a topic comes up and you have a guest or anything on a podcast and they sort of go, I don't know, I don't care about that. It's like, I get it, it's real, but it is a little bit boring. So it's like, do me a favor and pretend to either like it or hate it.
I feel like that with Candace Owens. Like I want to sit down with her and be like, you're joking with a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I just want to feel like, I don't know if it's real or not. Some of it feels like it's like,
yeah, she's just filling the thing.
Because even if you have like whatever opinion you have, even once you see that it's making you money, you have to go down that route even more. Like you see comedians do it now.
Of course.
They make one transgender joke and now they got this fan base and now their whole act is like this food for...
It was all he came out was like, look, I don't think the government should have a right to close down your business while big conglomerates are allowed to run. I don't think that's fair in the country. And then next thing you know, it's a year later going, trans people are going, they're fucking raping our kids. Yeah. And then, I'm not having no drag brunch.
Yeah, and they're selling out theaters.
You can't take my fucking guns. You can't take my guns. Yeah.
Dude, it slips. I speak to like some of the like workers when I go on the road. Like I like speaking to the staff, and like it's so funny when the staff talks about like those comics. They're like they were here last week and it was like a rally. Like they were just rallying their supporters. And I'm like, that's what...
And we're supposed to trust Fauci? And they go,
yeah. Right. I haven't seen Fauci in 3 years. Like, I can't believe people are still like doing things about it. But yeah, it's true, and it's so funny because like part of me as a comic, we're so like, I mean, we kind of train our minds to like just see through all the BS, and it's like this is exactly what everyone accused the left of doing, like kind of pandering to their own people, and they were doing that, and then the other extreme started doing it also. Now everybody's just everybody on the extreme end is just doing it. And I get it too. And I don't even blame them. It's like, once you sell a theater...
just once in a while, just a little bit of a wink, just a little bit of an acknowledgement that this is all just a scam.
Yeah.
And I don't really believe I don't really care about this shit. I need money. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
I felt like, you know what I felt? I felt like Trump would do that sometimes. Like I felt like sometimes it would like he would like just laugh, or like he would give you like a thing of like and then the people around him was like, yeah, he's definitely bullshitting.
Trump crushed it.
Trump treated it with that. Yeah.
Trump treated it like he was at some sort of a game. Like one of those murder mystery hotel nights where like everyone's walking around playing characters.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll solve the murder.
Yeah.
Like he was walking around like, I wish her well.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't think anything was real. He just like, none of this matters.
Yeah.
He's just signing documents, eating taco bowls or whatever, burrito bowls. Remember that?
I think that's why even people who didn't support his views, I think that's why some people found him entertaining, because I felt like some people saw that. It's like, did he just wink at us in the camera after he said that about Mexicans? This is crazy. And then he just winked.
And
did he just shoot a tissue thing at Puerto Ricans? It's crazy. He just shot a bounty at Puerto Ricans.
Listen, for as much as I love, like, was a survivor bias, you know, we're all looking back at the highlight reel of, I don't want to live through it again. I couldn't live through Trump again another 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I always said this. I feel like for like a straight white guy in America, especially in entertainment, that's your worst nightmare. Like when Trump was in office, white guys wasn't getting nothing. You know that. You know those years. It was the backlash to him.
He must still be in office if you're looking at my career. I tell you that much. Fuck's sake. Biden ain't doing much for me neither. Biden, get out!
It was the backlash, man. I think we spoke about this like at the thing. It was like all the comics, all the great comics who weren't getting like Netflix specials, nothing.
Yeah.
Netflix wasn't doing, like, none of the entertainment things was really doing it because it was a backlash to this like straight white guy, and it was the result of him. So I'm like, I mean, even if you believe his politics, I feel like, damn, he's gonna hurt your career a little bit. But then there's people who he made their career. I mean, people got some people, their whole job was just to critique him, and then he went away and they went away.
They got.
So they got to be begging for him.
That's another one I don't like. Some of these guys, the political guys, when they talk about, you know, because I watch whatever side they're on. They're bashing CNN, and they talk about like constantly CNN is doing this. Like they just want views. They're not delivering on the news. Like, yeah, but you're also in that group now because you're just commenting on them.
Yeah.
So if CNN went away, you'd also have nothing going on. You're also in the same loop of.
It's a whole, dude. It's like, it feels like I mean, not to use, but like, it feels like a matrix. It's like we're all in this world of like, even like people, like some people were like, some like huge podcasts or whatever, they're like the mainstream. And I'm like, you're the mainstream media.
Yeah.
You're more popular than all the things. Like there's nothing more popular than your podcast.
Who are you talking about, Ian? let me try and work this out. Yeah. That is true. Yeah.
It's a lot of guys though. It's a lot of guys with like super popular podcasts, which is like, you're the thing. You're like the thing. Like you're the thing people want to get on. Like,
and they want to rally against the industry or whatever.
If anybody's promoting anything, they want to get on your podcast.
Yeah, you're
not yours, but you know.
Of course. I know. Once I get hundreds of downloads. So, but you, with your stand-up career, you were very much like the structured, proper, like almost like someone who went to college and expected, like you did everything in the right order. Now it's only recently you're more of a like a online guy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like,
because you have the HBO special. You got 2 HBO specials.
No, I got one HBO special, and then a Comedy Central half hour.
Okay,
and then Tonight Show sets, and then Comedy Central.
Go check out Ian Lara and go check out your podcast.
Thing. Yeah, Adulthood. Yeah, and I started a podcast. You know, I did all the things. Me personally, like I feel like as comedians, we just want to do comedy, right?
Yeah.
Like we do the things because you have to, right?
Yes.
And then eventually it gets good. You starts making you money. Now it becomes like a thing you have to do. But I personally, I never wanted to, like, when I was coming up, I never wanted to be like known as like the podcast person or the clip person. So I kind of just like focused on stand up, and I was like, I just want to be known as like a stand up. And then I got a couple things in stand up, and I was like, okay, now what's next? And then obviously like the way the industry moved now, like it's like, all right, well, you got to do the clips and you got to do the podcast and you got to do the thing. So I was like, okay, I'll do it now because I have all these things already. And I'm not I don't think anybody, no matter how big a podcast gets or whatever, they're not gonna accuse me of being like, even like I do crowd work clips, but I don't think anybody can go on my thing and be like, you're a crowd work clip guy. Like I have 90 minutes of stand up out that you can see. So I kind of was worried about that. And also just didn't want to do it. It's fucking work.
That's pending.
Yeah, it's work, dude.
All you want in life is just to be focused on what you're saying. Show up, say it, leave. And let everyone else handle it.
Right. But you know, in the bit you have to do it.
Of
you
course,
know, you just go to a place where you have to do it. I mean, some people get lucky and they don't have to do it and they get like thing. But
do you think now that you're putting more stuff out there online, you're in are tickets? Are your fan base growing and ticket sales are increasing?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like in hindsight, if you had to lose one of the two parts of your kind of career, you have the industry part and your online stuff. Would you have probably sacrifice the industry stuff and just focus on the online stuff?
I don't know.
Are you more proud of the fact that
It's hard to tell for me because like it all kind of happened simultaneously at the end towards like the HBO special. Like when that came out, I started doing the clips and stuff. So it's hard to tell because a lot of the clips that went viral was off the HBO special. Yeah. So if I took that away,
it's both the same thing.
I'm like, I don't know if I would have had those viral clips I mean, I just think you got to do everything. Like, I just think like it's just
it's gone. Reels changed everything.
Reels changed everything.
I remember a few years ago, people used to be like, "Oh, he's a YouTube comedian," which just meant he had like a channel and probably posted his clips online. It didn't even mean much. Then it was like everyone posts everything, and then once Reels showed up, everyone does everything. Even like 4 years ago, I remember there was like, oh, they're the podcast internet guys and we're like the club guys or something. Yeah. And now it's like every single person just does everything all the time.
Yeah, you kind of have to. But I mean, I was always kind of worried, not worried, but part of me was a little worried because I remember like starting stand up. I started 13 years ago and I've been doing it long enough where I can say like I see every 3 years, like it's like a new thing that comes around where some people get like super famous. And then when that washes away, a lot of times the people that just rose up extremely fast, a lot of times they've kind of like fizzle out a little bit. So I was kind of worried about that, about like make sure like you're still doing the work of stand up and don't get, because it's easy to become like, you know, it's easy to just, I mean, I the other day I went to a show a couple months ago, like it was like a bar show and I just like they've been asking me to do it, so I was like, all right, I'll go through. It was literally like 7 people in the audience, 3 of them were comics in the back, and somebody was doing a 3-camera shoot at the thing.
They have 3 cameras?
3-camera shoot. And then
they might have a riff.
And then I saw a clip that he posted from that show, and it had like 1.5 million views.
Yeah.
And there was 7 people in the audience. I'm not making that up. It had like 1.5 million views, and it was just like insane. I'm like that, and it's like good for him, for that person who did that. Good for him. But it's like, damn, like respectfully, that person was an open mic level comic just because he was new. He was like a new comic. If you're a new comic, you're an open mic level comic. That's just how it is. And now you got these viral clips. Now he's like people coming out to see you, but it's like you don't have the chops for people to come out to see you. Yeah. I still think it's good to come up like when I started, I was doing like open mics on the low for like 3 years. When I like came around in New York, like New York comics was like, where'd you move from? And I was like, nah, I've been here. I was just doing open mics on the low. I didn't want to be at the cellar 2 years in. Yeah, of course. That's how I looked at it.
Racially, who's funnier, white people or black people?
I think white people could be more clever.
Yeah, we can.
But black people, I mean, you get after a black comic that kills. That's
you can't follow that.
I always tell
the worst, hackiest black comic of all time is gonna embody you. Yeah, your cerebral fucking. I never thought of it that way. Bits aren't gonna work when he's just fucking talking about his auntie choking on a fucking fishbone or whatever. You're getting buried by that guy.
I always tell Lev Fur, I'm like, he can't follow black.
No, he's like, no one can.
He's like, what do you mean? I just followed black like 2 nights ago.
No, he followed white Manhattan guy,
you
black guy.
White. You can't follow black.
You followed black guy who works the Manhattan clubs.
You didn't follow black.
No. Black is, you're fucked.
Dude, they're so funny. They're just so funny. Like,
dude, it's insane.
just so funny.
But I don't think there's a comedian in the world probably who would be excited to like follow like Earthquake or something.
No.
Like no one in the world.
No.
Louis, all these guys are going to be like, this is fucking rough.
He was opening for Mulaney, right?
What?
Earthquake was opening for Mulaney.
Fuck off.
Yeah, which is like, if you put him in front of your audience.
When was that though? Recently?
Well, I know he did it at the Netflix festival, but I think he had. I'm not sure, but he might have took him on the road for a couple of dates. I heard that.
Yeah, I do think maybe there's a home field advantage
of
a 4,000 seater.
Yeah, home
all
field
there
advantage.
for squeaky white guy.
Yeah,
and then Earthquake comes out.
Yeah, he murdered, and I heard he murdered. Like I know people who saw it, and they was like he murdered.
He only murdered.
Ari
told me a great story of like Ari was like I think hosting a bar show in LA. It's like fucking 98, 99. And Earthquake popped in. There's like 20 people at this show, and Earthquake goes up, does 10 minutes, gets a standing ovation, and then he gets with the mic. He goes Earthquake, and just drop the mic. He goes Earthquake, drops the mic and walks
I heard
off.
that story, yeah. Because that's his vibe. Like he literally, like he just picks up the mic and starts going. Like it's it's no like setup. It's like just bang, 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 Earthquake, and drop the shit.
Yeah, boom, boom. Because it goes boom, boom, and then you think, and then it's like next thing you know, it's like it's still going.
Yeah,
it's still going. It's like
he'll tag a joke. Like
it's just going and going and going.
Yeah, he's a killer. He's such a murderer.
I can't imagine. I've never seen him live. That's like one of my things. Next time he's in New York or anywhere in New York, I'd even love to go out and just see him when he's on one of those like black guy tours, and it's like him and Mike Elps or whatever.
He was
I don't be the only white guy in the room, and then they all point at me. Say I can't dance.
He used to do the old stand.
Did he?
Yeah, when he lived in New York for a little while, he used to do the old stand.
Yeah. Lil Rel is another one who's fucking
Lil Rel. Yeah, I just saw him in Montreal at the Just for Laughs festival. He's one of my favorite comedians.
He's crushes.
I just think he's just funny. Like he's just funny.
Yeah,
like, he's one of those just funny guys. Like
it's
one thing to have like a well worked out clever bit where you're like, I never looked at it that way.
You can't explain it to them.
But it's one thing where you could just go and you just say funny stuff.
So much more. The funny thing, it probably doesn't last as long though. Like you don't have as many Brian Regan bits where you're like at the fucking store and you go, oh yeah, he talked about bananas or whatever, like I think sometimes.
But I think Brian is like a black comic in a way.
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah, because he's observational, but it's like very theatrical.
Yeah,
and it's very acted out. It's like funny sounds, funny faces.
Yeah,
he's not I never looked at it this way kind of. What? Yeah, he's not one of those. He's like doing the things. He's like.
That is a great way to describe black comedy.
Yeah, he's doing the things.
He's doing the things.
He's great.
Yeah.
I remember watching the like one of the first specials when I first started comedy. I watched like the epitome of hyperbole.
I don't know. That
that's one of the Brian Regan's.
Okay.
It's the epitome of hyperbole, something like that. That's how he says it, but it's so funny, dude. It's just start to finish, just hilarious. Like no cursing, just hilarious.
Yeah,
that's another thing. You take out cursing, it's a lot of comedians that could go nowhere.
All right, let's not get into that. All right, chill out. We're talking about comedians. For fuck's sake, pick your battles here, Ian. Clip that out. Clip that fucking shit out.
So you did the Tonight Show, so you can do it without cursing.
I can try. Yeah. Depends. The cursing is a big thing, but I also find it's like it comes down to more or less are they interested, cursing or not cursing. I always find it's like, is that person interesting? Like, are they really saying something that, like, I think Brian Regan has that, even though he's clean. Yeah. He does say stuff that, like, stays with you,
Yeah. I don't think cursing matters. I just think, like, some people just are, like, just cursing, like, aimlessly.
I would love to say the M word.
Don't.
Just in general. Don't. Just, like, every day.
Just, like, at a stop sign.
Wow.
When somebody's walking
red
slow,
light,
somebody's walking slow in front of your car.
Yeah, I go, stop walking like a goddamn. I go, wait, you're white boy. Stop walking like a fucking. No, I mean, it's such a versatile word for black comedians to have because it can mean so many different things, and it's usually so funny. I guess it can become a bit of a trope or like a crutch. Yeah, but like it can mean so many things. Like some of the funniest things is like
sometimes like when you're writing a joke, obviously everybody knows it's like the timing, right? And if you've been doing it long enough, your mind has the timing. And sometimes you have a bit where you're like, it's missing a word.
Yeah.
And you could just throw the N-word in there and really get you to the finish line.
I know I could. I know.
It's really nice.
Most of my days are 2 hours longer because I can't say it. I'm Googling it to source.
You looking for synonyms?
No, it doesn't have the same ring to it. No, I like when black people use it and they use it as a what the fuck moment.
Yeah.
Like they'll say something happens crazy and then they'll say it like with a question mark instead of saying what the fuck. Yeah. That's the funniest thing in the world.
It's really good. That's really good.
Beyond
try to limit it.
Of course. Yeah.
But
I get it.
It is
I
helpful.
get it.
It is helpful.
I do the same thing with like all my jokes could be funnier if I took them from an Irish angle rather than just being like women are crazy. I go, American women are crazy. You know, people just love that thing, but it doesn't matter. But it does make it funnier.
Yeah.
So I gotta limit that.
Yeah.
I hate any comic who's just like every time you see them, it's the same shit. It's like I'm so Irish, I'm so Indian, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
it's
those
like,
guys are super successful.
Whatever.
They're very successful.
I don't know. You could argue like Louis Mexican never mentions it. He's from Boston, never mentions it. Bird doesn't hang off. He's like, I'm from Boston. They don't hang on to these things.
Yeah.
Mulaney never mentions it. I don't like when comics are just
what would Mulaney mention?
I don't know, just being a fucking Christian or whatever. I don't know, white guy.
Yeah.
Gay white guy. I don't know, whatever. He doesn't have the thing. I don't like when people have their thing. Like this is always the thing. I like when fat people talk about being fat.
Why though? What does it like?
I don't know. I think there's more to people than being a lesbian or a Jew or whatever their angle is.
I don't.
You know, that's it. That's as good. That's as exciting as it gets.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like whatever. Like I might agree with you where I'm like, oh yeah, I'd rather see a more deeper dive into like who you are. But like I also don't care if that's what you want to do. Like Like but when I do see it. Because it's the thing is like you see it's not personal enough, so it's done so much, right? So I'm sure you've seen like so many Irish comics are doing that because it's not personal. Any Irish comic could do it, right? Could be like the American thing. So you just see it too much, I guess, and you just get tired of it.
That's what
you want it to go like you want somebody to go deeper on it.
Yeah. But also I know how it makes a joke work. It makes the jokes work better, but it doesn't actually add anything at all.
Yeah. People just like to see that. But sometimes I've heard people I've heard comics like say things like critique, not critique, but like point out things in other people's sets that they're doing, and then I watch their set and I'm like, you're doing that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You're like, we're all doing kind of like.
That's the hardest part of fucking stand up is to apply, I think, the same shit to your own stuff. I think most comics.
Yeah.
If they're being like most comics, are like that guy's fucking hack, and then they go up and do the exact same thing. I think the vast majority.
I've seen that. Like, I've seen it. Like, and even from like you know, no big comics. It's like, it's. I mean, we're fighting not to be hacked. It's very hard not to be hacked. There's so many comedians. They're putting out clips every single day. Like, something happens today. Like, submarine drowns today, and tomorrow it's hack. You're like,
submarine jokes.
You're like, I didn't even get a chance to get a bit out on it. Things are moving fast.
Yeah.
But also I think sometimes we're too inside baseball. Regular people, they don't care.
No.
They don't care.
They have no idea.
They love hack.
They don't know the trials and tribulations of being a comedian.
They don't know how hard it is.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
So you're Latino, Hispanic? What is
my parents, I'm from New York, but my parents, they were both from the Dominican Republic.
So that makes you Latino?
Yeah.
Okay.
Afro-Latino.
Afro-Latino.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Black Latino.
Is that a big community, Black Latino? Or do you ever find yourself too Latino for like Black communities and then too Black for Latino communities?
It's like a fairly new movement.
Okay.
Movement. Yeah, growing up, it was like a weird thing because it was like I used to be around, when I would be around too many Hispanics, I used to get like kind of mocked for being Black. Yeah. And then I would be around African American Blacks and they would be like, you're not
You're
Black.
Spanish.
You're Spanish. So it was like we existed in this like middle world, but then like I don't know, like around 2013 this movement started of like just embracing it and being like no, because I think, you know what I think it had a lot to do with like the ancestry DNA test becoming so accessible. Because once we were able to like do that and be like, oh, our roots just trace back to Africa like everybody else, then we were able to be like, oh no, look, and now that made us be like, all right, we're Afro-Latino.
So now you got that sense of...
which is great. It's like nice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it like being a white guy?
It's fucking, the good days are gone.
Yeah.
Over. I got here a little bit too late.
People say that, but
I got here too
that's
late.
not how I see it.
No? Of course. You guys are always fucking whining.
I think.
You'll fucking give you everything in the world, and you'll still have something to complain about.
Everything.
I get
let
it.
us
You know?
vote, and it's
Oh my
it's like,
god. Oh my god.
let us drive and vote. This is nice.
I'm fucking standing in the line at the bathroom now. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Do you ever feel like? When did you get here?
2014.
Okay. Do you ever feel like because sometimes I notice this. Sometimes I feel like people foreigners that come here, like they move here, sometimes they don't understand like the dynamic of like the relations between like the racial thing in America. Because like a lot of times I'll go places and they don't have it over there.
Oh, of course not.
Like they just don't have it. Like if you're like black in Ireland, you're rare, but like you're just a black person in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Like here, I feel like some places here, especially when you travel, you're like, damn, like you go some places, like you can't be black here. You know?
Where's that?
You know, like there's some place. Like I remember being like down south one time. I was doing a road trip with my friends for spring break, and we stopped in like some backwoods gas station in like Georgia.
Wow.
And we went in, and we were like New Yorkers, like 19 years old, being like loud, you know. And then
stealing.
we go, you know, stealing, spray painting. Spray painting the counter, you know how we do. And
you're wilding out. You're wilding out.
Yeah. We're playing improv games. And we look up at the wall, and it's just like nothing but Confederate flags all over the wall.
Yeah.
And then we look up, and it's like a bunch of like good old boys looking at us, and they would just basically let us know like you guys shouldn't be here. And
you could just tell from the way they were looking.
You just kind of tell they were just like they didn't say nothing, but you kind of tell that they was like, all right, you're out of your place here.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been in other countries where there's no black people, and I go to and I'll be in a place where it's all white, but I don't feel that type of thing. And in most places, I don't feel that here. I don't want to make it seem like
of course.
It's still like some crazy wildfire. Most places are like fine, but in certain places.
But I think if you guys were all white and you're from New York and you're all wearing fucking Knicks jerseys or whatever it was, they would also still look at you like, who are these fucking out of towners? I do think race is a big part of it. I don't
think so.
I think so. Trust me. I know these country bumpkins. They don't want you showing up with your fucking shiny sneakers or whatever.
Sure.
I'm sure race is definitely a big part of it. There's also just the fact that you're a New Yorker that they're like, look at these out of town fucks.
I mean, sure. I feel like everyone experiences that a little bit, but I think there's a difference when you see Confederate flags like all over the thing. That kind of lets you know that it kind of lets you know their stance on a couple things.
Are we ruling that anyone with a Confederate flag is 100%?
No,
racist?
I don't know. Who am I to call anyone racist? I don't know. I think it's safe to say that it's safe to assume you might be.
Yeah.
Probably
more.
You might be. I don't know if you are or not.
Yeah, if I was a betting man.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm not a nudge. It nudges the weighing scales.
Yeah.
It puts the scales
a little bit. I say a little bit. Is that fair? Are the comments?
I'm just saying there's not a racist in this country who doesn't have a Confederate flag. That's all I'm saying. All right, we'll meet there for sure. Yeah, but so. I don't know. Being from Ireland, we always have class. It's like a class
thing. Yeah.
So it's not racial at all. It's just the class.
Classism. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see a lot of Americans, I guess, troubles, I think it gets brought under the racial umbrella because of usually it's just with it, but it's more of a class. Like the rich are the rich and the poor the poor.
Same thing. Like it's like that in Dominican Republic, which is like a class is like classism thing. But sometimes I'll see like people come over. Like when people come to move to the States, they'll dismiss the racial thing because they'll think that it's like their country, and they won't account for the fact that like, no, it's not like your country. It is a real thing here. It is a real problem, and it's getting better. There's a lot. Most people I know are like not racist. They're good people, and I think it is getting better. But it still is a thing in some places.
Yeah.
I'm not some person that just walks in and be like everybody's racist, but that's like an extreme thing too, where they're just like everything is race. But I try not to even make it like a race thing. I try to be like it, like just hate me for me. I'm bad enough. I'm gonna say dumb shit.
I love that someone says something racist and you go, dude, you don't know me. Dude.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you. Get to know me, and you can hate me as a person.
I'm going to piss you off for sure.
You can hate me as a person inside, but come on.
Yeah.
At least take the time to hate me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what's funny? Like when I when I go on the road, because I did so much mainstream things, because I did like my first thing was like the Tonight Show. I did 2 Tonight Show sets, did Comedy Central, HBO. Like most of the people that come see me on the road, it's like white people.
Yeah.
It's like mainstream, like because the people that watch those kind of things.
Yeah, and it's the people that like the clean comedy, they'll come out.
Yeah. And I'm not tonight. If you come see me on the road, I'm not Tonight Show clean.
No, that's crazy.
I'm dirty.
Nuts.
I'll curse a little bit, but I'm not super dirty anyway. So.
But I remember hearing years ago, there was a lot of comedians in the UK became famous. They did a bunch of shows, but they had to work clean. But they weren't clean comics, but they had to work that. So then everyone was coming on the road to see them and being like, what is this shit? And it was like, yeah, because I had to do that for the thing.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything like that with social media now? Because like, if you have I don't really know, but you know, people are always cursing out like the words. You know, what do they always say like, I crumbed on her face. And you're like, oh, it's worse. I think that somehow made it worse.
I'm not tied into this algorithm of cum jokes comedians.
You haven't had to deal with it?
I've never seen
How
that
the other
shit.
half live, huh? Well, for the rest of us out there, we're calling women peaches and I crumbed on this peach's face. That's what they say in the captions.
Is that why they caption it?
Yeah.
Because I know they use segs like, instead of sex.
So I was having sex with this
or
peach.
I unalived instead of killed or dead.
I tried to crumb on this peach's face, and when we were having segs.
That's a good bit.
It was. I tried. I almost unalived the peach.
I just picture you sending that transcript to the Tonight Show, using those as narratives.
It's fine. I found a workaround, fellas.
It's fine.
Ring me if you can. Ring me. I'll explain it. It's fine. No more crumbing on a girl's face.
Yeah. So wait, what were you saying about that?
I was just wondering if just gonna be, because social media seems like that's become more of a, things are a little bit more regulated again. Yeah. So it's like social media is the new TV.
Isn't that funny? Like, remember a couple years ago when like all the comedians were like, it's online, you can say whatever you want. West. Nobody's caught. And then YouTube's Facebook, everyone was like, no, you can't say it. We're gonna be worse than TV, actually. On TV, you can say dead and killed. You can't say that on the algorithm.
Yeah.
They're like, they completely put a clamp on that.
Yeah, you were making some money on TV. Now it's like the internet takes it all.
Yeah.
Those guys gobbled up, took it all up.
Yeah. I mean, Instagram used to pay you for the reels and they just stopped doing that.
Did they just stop?
They just stopped. They were like, we got to figure this out. Until we figure it out, we're not going to pay anybody. That was literally their excuse. Like they sent an email like, we're going to figure this out.
To be just $1 billion company conglomerate, that'd be great. I just want to figure it out.
That'd be nice.
We'll get back to you guys. We're done to figure it out.
Yeah, that's it. That was the email. They're like we're going to pause this while we figure it out. You're like,
imagine saying that to you, like fucking someone cutting your grass. Look, we have a lot of money in there, but we just can't figure out how much.
Yeah, we got to figure it out. Yeah, so they just stopped paying. Yeah. It was a Wild West for like a little while, though. Remember on YouTube, you could just post anything?
Yeah.
And then you can't even do that on YouTube now. I be hearing podcasts sometimes, they got to like censor themselves because they're like the algorithm going to bury them.
Yeah. Well, we do that on these episodes. By the way, you can get these episodes uncensored, ad-free, patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. But for the free episodes that go out, we cut out the curse words for the first 10 minutes because then we can monetize the episode.
Oh, that's the rule?
That's, and it works most of the time. So first 10 minutes, you'll just sort of not bleep out the curse words. So, yeah. And everyone's always complaining. It's like, yeah, well, go off the Patreon. I'm sorry.
People complaining that they want to hear curse?
I need it.
I need the cursing,
I need the Fs.
I need the cursing.
I need the effing.
Yeah. That's funny.
But you wonder if like someone like Stanhope back in the day, and someone he blew up online. He was like one of the online guys.
Did he blow up online?
He did both, but he found his fan base through MySpace.
Oh,
like
really?
He found his fan base,
and he still has it. They're still there.
Yeah, he's also. I think he's one of the best comedians of all time.
Yeah,
personally. So it's like he deserves all that. But he used to do stuff like he would go to a town, go on MySpace, find people whose interests were like drinking and like I don't know, like some fucking weird TV show, and then he would like DM them all, going, "Hey, I see you like beer and fucking wrestling or whatever. You might like my stand up." And they're like, "Okay, cool." So like that's how he built up.
Damn, that's great. That's grassroots.
That's crazy. Not even true stand up, but like just find that general interest. So like, oh, you like libertarian, and whiskey. Come down to my show. You'll probably like it.
Yeah. He's great, man. He's just a great comic. There's so many great comics. It's hard for me to be like the best ever, like because there's so many great comics.
Oh,
it's It's no. I was watching Rogan one time, and they were asking him about like who's the best UFC fighter, and he was like, I don't think there's a best, man. It was just so many great people. Like it just, I feel the same way with stand up. I'm like, I don't know who's the great. Like
they all offer a little bit something.
Yeah,
different.
they all offer. It's like music. It's so many. Like whenever you say a great, like whenever somebody be like, "Oh, this the great," it's just the person you like. It's just the person that speaks the most to you.
Yeah,
there's nothing like they're all great like at a level. You know.
You could probably all agree you got like a top 20 kind of the guys, and most people have them in whatever. You know.
Yeah, I mean, but even those top 20s are just like what everyone sees, right? Like there's still some guys that you don't see who are like great too, right?
Yeah. Wow, some of the funniest comics I ever saw were like just random open micers that did it for a week, and then they're like, "Well, fuck this," and gone.
They're like, "Fuck this! I'm not rich yet. I'm out of here."
Like, what am I doing? Coming back for this? They looked around and go, "I'm not doing this." They usually have something going on in the real world where they go, "This ain't worth it." Yeah, that's usually those people. They show up, they do stand up, they look around at the freak show and go, "Yeah, I've got a job, I've got 401k."
I've met people like that. Like,
I'm gonna go have a dinner date with my wife and our friends and drink wine on our patio. I'm not hanging out with this guy who should be in prison for fucking assaulting a teenager on the train. Like, what about that guy? Did you hear about that guy who killed his mother? There was an open micer. He fucking chopped off his mother's head. Did you hear about that guy?
Laughing Buddha or
no? I don't think he was a Laughing Buddha guy. I think he was a Brooklyn or a Creek guy.
Was he New York?
Yeah, he was a New York guy. I think he was a Creek guy.
Now, who is this? I might have done a bringer with this guy.
I swear to God, Google stand-up comedian cuts off mother's head or kills mother. Someone just showed me, and I go, I remember that guy. No, that wasn't. It was comedian. He was a. They might. You know what? He was such a low-level comedian. They might not have even. They might not even have mentioned
that he was a comedian.
Yeah, they might not even have brought that up.
There's so many mom decapitated.
Why are these mothers? What are these mothers doing?
Yeah. What did they do?
I never even came close to cutting off my mother's head.
Yeah.
I never even came close to it. No. What?
Are you sure this happened? I feel like I would have heard it.
No, I swear. I remember the guy. Who told me about him?
That's what it.
Huh? I don't know. I need to see what it is.
That's what's up here.
Was it? He was
aspiring
a white
comedian. Is this?
Oh yeah,
It says Virginia Beach though.
Yeah, no, he was in New York. Yeah. So this might be him. It wasn't in New York, but he was based in New York for a while. And then he was like a chubby guy with curly hair, maybe. Picture. No photo. Trump.
Photo of Trump.
Yeah. Anyway, but like that's the type of stuff. Yeah, there, right there. Go back to where you just were. See him on the right there. That guy. Yeah. Oh my God. He was an open micer. He used to come to like the Creek and the Brooklyn and all that stuff, and he would just like, and he would laugh really loud down the back. He'd be like, "Ha ha!" Like that type of a guy. He'd go, "Ha ha ha!"
Some people, I mean, it makes sense. Some people like that you see at open mics are so bad at comedy that it's like you must be a murderer. Like it makes sense that you that you're not all there to think that you could do this.
Yeah, I've never heard anything shock me in comedy when people are getting exposed for anything. I go, yeah, that's exactly who that person was. That guy murders him. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, dude, I like when I go back to like when I started here in New York, like if you would have walked into like an open mic in like let's say 2012,
yeah,
in any open mic in New York, the comedians that you saw at that open mic that you thought were funny are the comedians working now. Like,
yeah,
nobody who was like not funny or not good is like a working comedian now.
So. Yeah.
It's like, it's weird because I'm like, you could have literally walked into a mic and the people that would have a funny set, they're like successful now.
Yeah. There is still some.
They're better.
Yeah. There's
obviously
one or two that I always remember going like, I don't get this. And I'm still like nearly 10 years later, I'm going, like they're getting like TV deals. I'm going, what is going on? The whole time I'm always like, oh, they'll get found out soon enough. And then they just keep going and going and going.
But I don't get this is I feel like that too about some people, but
where you go, you're just like, you're crazy. You feel crazy.
But I'm just like, but I'm not. I don't think that like what I think is like the thing. So I'm like, I don't get it, but it works for this network. So
those works for everyone.
So so I just resigned to like I don't get it. I don't know what it is.
New York open mics are wild, and I remember just so many people where I go, oh, this guy should be screaming on the train, but he's just not that crazy. He's just aware of himself enough that he's like, I'm not going on the train, shit my pants like a crazy person. I'm I'm not just pretend to be a chicken or whatever at this open mic and just scream at people.
Yeah, dude, there was open micers that definitely like, and they stuck around for years. Like they would come back.
Yeah, they're famous. The famous open micers are the ones where it's like every generation of like, it doesn't matter how far back you go. It's like Michael Che used to do mics with this guy.
Yeah.
You do mics with the younger kids do mics with guy. Like these are the legends of the open mic scene. These are senior comedians overall.
Yeah.
But they have 20 years of experience at open mics. That's how long these guys have done. They're talking about how the industry's changing. You know, my day used to be free to do a mic.
Now it's $5 in the drink.
Yeah, they're bitching about people doing crowd work at the open mic. Going, come on, there's no standard anymore.
That's like a thing too, right? That's happening.
Crowd work at open mics.
Somebody told me.
Sure, you got to practice.
Somebody posted it on Instagram. He was like at an open mic, and it was like a 2-camera shoot, and the comics was like doing like pre-rehearsed.
Yeah.
Trying to get clips.
I can't even imagine. I used to be embarrassed. Sometimes I would set up my phone and put it on the corner just so you can watch back your set.
Yeah.
Go,
me too. Yeah. I used to do that too.
I used to be embarrassed to do that. The idea of even posting that shit would be insane.
Me too, dude.
I've got a guy taking room tone. Sorry, guys. Guys, room tone.
Can everybody be silent?
Just 2 seconds. Got it. Yeah, let's go. Hey, can we turn that AC off? There's a guy running around signing NDAs and shit. 8 people in the room. One of them's dressed up as a chicken. They used to be fun though.
One of them was dressed up as a chicken.
There was a woman used to.
He's the chicken guy.
The chicken guy. Who's the chicken guy? There was it. Remember Waddle Like a Duck guy? Do you remember him? Come on, Waddle. You gotta waddle like a duck. You never heard that guy?
That was his act?
It was insane. Yeah, he had songs. And he would come along. He was a fat guy, and he would clap, and he would play music, and I think he would like put on like a duck hat.
He would do that for 5 minutes at open mic.
He would do them at shows and bringer shows and everything, and he did it on the street a lot in the train. Like he's just a mentally ill man, and like I think they might have got him on Legion of Skanks at one point because Big J, he harassed Big J on the street. Jay was smoking outside the cellar one time, and this guy came up and was like, guys, can I do my comedy act for you? And there's like a bunch of comedians are like, absolutely, yeah. And he starts playing music, and he goes, come on and waddle. Come on and waddle like a duck. Come on and waddle. Come on and waddle like a duck.
Dude, you're literally doing this guy's act.
I swear, I don't get.
He's gonna sue you. But wait,
I'm allowed to expose.
Funny. It's so funny going up to a group of comedians. They're like, "Can I do my act?" And they're like, "Of course."
Absolutely, I would love nothing more. Like some of the best comedians in the world.
Of course you can, please.
Imagine having a smoke, and then just like God sends.
We
you.
would love entertainment right now.
This is the greatest thing, and then they're like worse than you could ever even imagined. And
dude, I remember. This is gonna sound like a lie, but I remember one time I used to host a bringer show for years. I used to host a bringer show at the Stand.
Yeah,
where you bring up like the new comics, and I was the host, and then it would have a comic would close out, like a working comic would close out. And one day, Tim Dillon was closing the show, so Tim comes early. He comes downstairs to check out the show. I'm standing like backstage. It was in the old Stand, and I'm talking to Tim. And he's like, what's going on here? And I'm like, oh no, it's like a bringer show. And a guy walks down. One guy walks down, and he's dressed like Trump. Like he's just dressed like Trump. Like he's as a Trump. And right after him, a guy comes down, and he's dressed like a banana. So I'm looking at Tim, and he's looking at me, and we're both trying to like keep a serious face. Like we're both trying to, and Tim's looking at me. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "So this is the show, huh?"
Okay, yeah.
It was literally a dual act, and it was Trump and the banana.
Oh, they were together.
They were together.
Oh, the plot thickens.
It was a 2-person.
What if the banana didn't show up? What's he doing?
Then the show was canceled.
He's like, I'm playing both parts.
If the banana don't show up, then you can't do the thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and you know what? Till this day, I regret I didn't get to see the act.
No, I have so many questions.
I didn't get to see the act because I was laughing with Tim for so long.
Do you?
After me and Tim could not stop laughing, and it's because I'm kind of dressed like a banana now. So this is weird, but
yeah, that's so funny to see Trump walk down and go, all right, but someone saw Trump walk in and go, where's the banana?
Yeah.
It's not Trump without the banana.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even understand. Do you think they worked backwards? Do you think they found the costumes first and then they're like, all right, let's see how we can figure this out? Because like Trump and a banana don't even have anything in common.
Dude, I have.
Doesn't even make sense. Like it's just 2 random costumes.
It's just 2 random costumes. I don't know, dude. Like I don't know. I think it has something to do with like his Trump's color. I think like Trump is
it's
red.
like I'm the orange and he's the banana.
Yeah, like the orange and the banana type of thing. Like I think the guy wasn't really Trump. He was an orange.
Okay.
But he was dressed like Trump, and they was like the fruit guys, the fruit ninjas. You know, I don't know, dude. It was like you host those shows, you see every type of thing, and then. I remember going to like auditions and like people are like dressed up and I'm like, there's nothing worse than like, cause we go to auditions and we don't get it, right? But we just like, all right, we didn't get it. But like, there's a time when like you get off stage and you're looking in the mirror and you're wiping off the banana paint off your face. And you're like, there's now part of you where you wipe it off and you look at yourself and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's nuts.
But good luck to them. I mean, maybe they're probably in Vegas. We'll probably see them at Skankfest.
Yeah, they won America's Got Talent last year.
Yeah.
There were millions.
Yeah. Have you done Skankfest before?
Yeah, I've done it like a lot of times. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I've been invited like a couple times and I could never make it, but this year I was like, no, I really want to.
You'll have a lot of fun. I don't know who you're closest to going to, but like most people kind of split up into their little
cliques.
Not really cliques, yeah, but it's just like, it's all day, everything. So you're walking around or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's good to have people that you don't want to be the guy who doesn't really know anyone floating around. But I'm sure you'll have like your.
No, I know everyone. I know everyone. I'm cool with Big J and them, and I think Norman is going and Joe List.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Lev's going. You're going.
And you drink, right?
Karen's going.
You gotta just accept it. It's gonna be a bit of a heavy weekend. If it's not a heavy weekend, I don't know why anyone would go. Like when Joe List goes, I'm like, what are you doing?
Karen too. Karen's
fucking crazy.
Yeah. But I think Liz is
some
going.
People just love the attention, huh? Some of us are in it for the alcohol.
So no, it's gonna be great in Vegas, and Ari's going. I think.
Yeah,
Ari, Shane.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I had the funniest interaction with Shane at the airport. I was going just like last week. I was flying out of LaGuardia. I was going to Kansas City, and I'm going to security, and I got selected for like random whatever. And the guy's like, we feel something like right in your like crotch area, and he's like, I gotta search your crotch area, and I'm like, all right. And he's like, do you want to go to a room or do you want to do it right here? And I'm like, let's just do it right here. Like, what am I gonna do? And he starts like I'm like hands up, and the guy's like feeling on my crotch, and then Shane Gillis comes out the metal detector, and Shane is looking at me like what's going on here?
Just his big fucking moon head.
And I start dying laughing with Shane. We're both dying laughing. And the guy
goes, imagine a person worse while I'm getting jerked off.
The guy, he's like, I think he's like, are you getting a hand job at the airport? And the guy's like, we're both dying laughing. And then the guy's like, are you two comedians? And he's like, and we're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, because only comedians would react this way to this happening. Like he's literally like, you know, and it's just Shane's face coming out the metal detector.
I can't imagine. At my lowest moment, the worst person in comedy.
It was so funny.
He was like he's waiting there all day.
So funny. Yeah. I'm like, what are the? I'm like, Shane, what the fuck? You're not flying private yet? What are you doing going through the regular line at TSA?
Yeah, Shane was getting a Spirit Airlines flight. That fucking cheap. That's hilarious. So funny. Yeah. That's fucking incredible.
Shane's great.
Shane's good.
Yeah. He's one of my faves.
He's doing all right. He's
one of my faves. I remember when he moved to New York, man. He just kind of like took over.
Yeah. He chewed us up, spit us out, and he's moved on to bigger things.
Every
now and again, you just have those guys who just fly past like a rocket ship, and you go, all right, good luck.
Yeah.
See you up there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him for sure. He's great.
Yeah.
There's so many great, that's the thing when you come from New York, there's so many like great guys who like then they go on to like do their own shit, but like for so long like you were in it together, like you were in the trenches together of like doing spots and doing the clubs, and then they move on. And
I don't like when sometimes you fade away though, like with that. Like sometimes I got people you'd see every single night doing open mics. We'd all be at diners drinking coffee, whatever, just hanging out. And for like a year or so, you're like fucking every day. You see, then one day you both go and just start doing different things. Yeah. And then you see each other, and it's barely even a head nod anymore. It's almost
that's
like,
weird.
It's like you don't even know them. It's like
yeah.
Then they become my enemy.
Yeah, no,
they're not even a neutral. They actually, because they used to be my friend and we're not close. Now you're my enemy.
Yeah,
it's like we had a falling out, but it wasn't.
I feel like I had that with like a couple people who like we were coming up together, and it's not even like I'm not gonna say it's not really that we're enemies, but it's just like I kind of went on to do other things, and they kind
Didn't do nothing. You bums.
No, so when we meet up, it's kind of like awkward. Like it's kind of like weird because like we were at the same place. Like we used to do the same open mics. We used to hang out at the same things. And now when they see me, it's kind of like.
Yeah, because you left them back in the gutter. And then you come back, and then you're talking about like the challenges of road dates or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, I can't even get a guest spot at the fucking, can't even get a check spot at Stand Up New York," you know.
Yeah.
But I get that. I'm in those conversations all the time when people are talking about the fucking how hard it is to pitch a special to a network and all this stuff. I just have to sit there and go, yeah, tell me about it. I'm in the same situation.
Pitching a special to a network if you wanted to.
Could I?
No, don't say no.
Whoa,
but you can do it.
Yeah, it's funny. So the amount of people that go into open mics for sure, they're a little bit mentally ill. They go do that thing, but then it's like, I guess you could argue. I don't know if this is the case. I'm more in the Seinfeld things. People are always like, "Oh yeah, comedians are always depressed or they're always like mentally ill." And Seinfeld's like,
I don't think so.
He goes, "I think it's just the same percentage as any other industry."
Yeah, I think so. I mean. I mean, starting off, that's like all you heard. Like, I remember all you heard is like, as a comedian, you got to be suicidal or you're not funny. And I was like, I remember the first person I heard was like Aziz to be like, nah, my parents are doctors.
Yeah,
and I went to NYU and I'm good. Because like I was like, yeah, I don't come from like, there was no like childhood molestations that led me to comedy. You know, I just wanted to do comedy. I thought it was funny. That's it. How about you? Are you like
I was molested loads of times, but
you asked for it.
I think it made it better. I think it made it didn't affect my life at all. Actually, I enjoyed it. It was a good childhood.
No, I wasn't I waited to TSA to get the molestations.
Yeah, but then again, you just a lot of comedians. I think they just because they're so reflective. A lot of them are in therapy.
I did therapy.
You did a lot of therapy. Yeah. I did it too. I never quite found anyone. I never found my fucking Mr. Miyagi to crack me open. They're always just like dumb. They're always just dumber than I am. And I was like, I can't have that. That's crazy. You know, they just sit there like you can tell they're not like. I need like a fucking
genius.
I need someone to really get into the ins and outs of my well-being.
Your problems. Yeah, I do the comedian. The ones that all the comedians. Have you heard of Alan?
I don't know Al. I just know that people bring him up.
Yeah, he's great.
Is he?
He's great. Yeah. He's great.
Do you ever bring up then like you can bring up stuff and they go, oh. Yeah, I heard. It's like every comic comes in and goes, "This idiot just got a special."
Yeah, well, that's the one thing. It's like we spoke about that one time where he was like, he sees so many comedians, and he was like, comedians always bring up. He's like, this was like after I saw him for a year. He was like, comedians always bring up like their problems are always like comedy based, like that.
Yeah.
And then he said like with me, he's like, I never brought up comedy once. Like we used to talk about family stuff. Like I never used to. And I was like, yeah, I kind of just love stand up. Like I just love comedy. Like I'm not like. Obviously, you have your things where you're like, what? That person got it? Whatever. That's like just normal human nature. But like, I'm generally like happy that I get to perform like in the best places. Like,
it's an easy life. We like to make it seem all fucking shitty.
Which is fine, right? It's nice to make things seem awful. That's kind of our job.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're not allowed to.
I'm gonna piss people off by telling people how like fine I am. With,
I got the best job in the world.
People are gonna get upset at this. This isn't romantic. This is. Yeah.
No, I never got my couch moment. I never got that guy who just sits you down and it's just like, and what do you remember from that moment? And like a big thing. It's mostly just doing shrooms. So.
You should see Alan.
I'm not on Alan money.
Yeah,
I'm not on Alan's HBO money. Yeah. Alan asks your credits.
He's like, where are you past?
I gotta send him my tape.
Where are you past before you?
I won like an out of town competition.
He's like, I won the Boston Comedy Festival.
You go, look, you're not mentally ill that much yet, but you got potential.
Yeah.
Right now you're still going out, but I need top dogs.
Send him your Tonight Show set.
Just ask for feedback. Quickly, what do you break me down? What do you think was wrong with me?
I feel like when you did the Tonight Show, it was so great because it was so many comedians who were like, who try to latch on to the whole like, this isn't like the Tonight Show isn't for me because I'm too filthy and I can't do it. And then like when you did, everyone was like, well, Colum did it.
Yeah.
So what's your excuse now? Like,
I'd never had any ambition to do it. Really, because I didn't grow up with it, so it's not like one of these dreams. There's loads of stuff in America where everyone's like, oh my god, like, it was new to me. I only heard about it when I moved here 10 years ago. But I like just because, like we were saying, I was more of an internet guy, kind of podcast in that world. It just gave me a little bit of I'm not just a fucking online guy. I'm also able to do that, which I like to.
Which I think that's super important, dude. It's so funny, like with sometimes when comics like double down, every comic like doubles down on like the internet. I'm like grassroots until the industry calls.
Yeah,
and they're
of course.
Like, later.
See,
they're like later.
I'm about to do a movie with Eddie Murphy. See you later, folks.
I canceled my podcast. I deleted everything off the thing. There's no more Patreon.
Yo, fans that kept me going through the hard years.
Forget me, please.
I'm doing a sitcom with Schumer. Fuck off.
Yeah, please never reach out. Do not tweet me. I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like,
Joey Haha is dead.
Yeah.
My name is Jonathan Wells, and I am an actor.
Yeah. Because in reality, like, no one wants to do all the work, right?
No.
You want them to give you money for doing it.
I just want to be on a fucking yacht with some sluts. That's all I want to do.
Sure, yeah.
And whatever way I can get there.
Yeah. Like, this is great. Like, when I walk in here, I'm like, this is amazing that you built all this stuff. And I remember when you were building it, it's like hard work. Like, you had to find things to build it. But, like, I only started a podcast because I had a network be like, we'll do everything. And then I was like, all right, I'll show up.
Yeah.
Because, like, this seems daunting to me.
Yeah, I guess you got to just fucking drag yourself out of the mud.
Yeah.
Drag yourself out of the mud.
You're a drag you out of your mud guy, though.
No one else is there to help me.
Yeah.
It's an immigrant thing.
Yeah.
I think it's an immigrant thing. You show up, nothing's there.
Yeah, I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
Kind of. You kind of. You don't sound goofy.
Yeah,
that's like pure. Also, I'm barely an immigrant, too. It's like, I always kind of go, immigrant. And people go, you're not like for it. You're not like, I don't have the trials and tribulations of sharing a house with 15 of my cousins, So
yeah, but I don't think that's the thing. I don't think that's the deciding factor.
I think it is. I think a lot of it.
A lot of it is how many people live in your house.
I think it is. How many people are you sharing a room with? How many jobs you got? I have a lot of free time, a lot of downtime. I don't really associate. It's like the same with like even Ryan Long. We don't really go like we're immigrants. We could a little bit, but. Yeah. We don't have this struggle of a South American.
I mean, I think Ryan less than you. I mean,
absolutely. That guy, he's born in California for sure. He's a liar.
The accent, he's
a liar.
I think the accent definitely separates. Like when you talk to somebody, they know you're not from here, so that alone makes you like weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm just, and now I go back to Ireland. I'm too American.
Yeah.
When I go back, because I've got an American accent now.
I want to go to Ireland.
Fucking go. A real dream of mine one day would be to organize a festival to bring a bunch of American comics over. And
I feel like you could just do it.
No, you need to have.
You built this.
Build it and they shall come.
Yeah.
No, you need to give it a year or two. Hopefully I get a bit of a profile, but that's something definitely. That's one of those. Do you have anything like that you really, not even for money or anything, just want to achieve someday?
Dude, it's funny. Like I gotta really think about because like I've done a lot of the things that like I wanted to do. Like I did shows in Dominican Republic. That was huge. I did shows in English in Dominican Republic. We sold out 2 shows in a Spanish speaking country. I didn't even know where the people were gonna like come from, but we sold out 2 shows. I'm doing it again in December. I did Africa. I did a theater in Kenya.
Nice.
I did Dubai. I did Turkey. Israel, so
you're doing the whole world, man.
Yeah, I did a lot of different.
Usually,
places.
that's only people who do stand up in a foreign language.
Yeah,
English has a foreign language. Those guys play all over the world.
Yeah,
because it's the same.
Because they're why do you think?
Because I think if let's say you're a Chinese person and you learned English as a foreign language, and then you're watching a comedian do stand up in English as their second language, it's more relatable to. So, like, let's say Rafi from Brazil, he does stand up in English. I think that audience, they're more similar.
Oh, okay.
A Brazilian comedian doing stand up in English is more similar to a Chinese comedian doing stand up in English. Like,
oh, okay. Then an English comedian doing it in English.
Yeah,
then an American comedian
I think those guys kind of.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, no, dude, like. For me, it was like the Tonight Show sets and like just word of mouth. Like I just have producers from like all over the world that'll reach out like, hey, we'll fly you here. You want to come? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want that experience. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, just like last May. In May, I was in Dubai I was in Africa for like 12 days, and then I flew back and I did Edmonton, and then I came back home, and then I went to Dubai for 10 days and did the festival over there, and that was great because it's great to like see like it helps you like believe in your jokes more when they work in foreign places. You're like, all right, I could take this anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It must be funny to get your show up at like Beijing or something, and you're like, all right, so the L train. All right, from Manhattan.
Yeah. Well,
You guys know Bushwick?
I went on the road since I was like 5 years. I've been like going on the road. So like, even though I'm a New York comic and this is where I perform 90% of the time, I always knew that the road was different. The stuff that work here don't work on the road a lot of times. Yeah. The stuff that murders here, like the New York stuff that murders here, there's nothing on the road.
But I also don't even get it because what percentage of a New York audience are tourists?
A lot, right? Especially at the Cellar.
It's like, what does that even mean then?
But it's a home game though.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me though. You think if they're all tourists, it would be like the most diverse amount of
Well, but
opinions.
If you have a bit about the train and there's tourists in the audience, they probably took the train.
Yeah.
So they can understand it, as opposed to like in Iowa, they have no idea.
Yeah. But you can, even if you do like an anti-gun bit in New York, you're gonna get fucking people loving it.
Yeah.
You're gonna say, we need to take away the guns. They're gonna love it. But like, if everyone's from fucking Oklahoma and shit, what happens? Do they just pretend?
Do you think people that visit New York are kind of lean more that way? Like if you're willing to visit New York and come to a comedy show, you probably lean more that side.
Yeah, maybe.
Like a New York City side.
I think most of them are just clapping no matter what. Whatever the angle is, they just recognize words.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Frenchies.
Yeah, and then there's I feel like there's 20% New Yorkers in the audience that'll carry the momentum of like, do we applaud this or do we boo it?
Yeah.
And what they do, the people fall into place, you know?
Sheep, you're all sheep.
Yeah.
All right, look, that was a great fucking episode. Thanks for doing it. Like you said, check out the podcast. Adulthood, the Adulthood podcast, everywhere you find podcasts, and check out the special, still streaming on Max. It's called Romantic Comedy, and all of my sets are up on YouTube. So if you just Google Ian Lara, you can see some of my stand up. And he's all over the road. Go check him out. And then if you're listening to this, you're probably coming to Skankfest. Go check out Ian, one of the shows. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. This was fun.
Go support Ian Lara. First time at Skankfest. Probably thinks you're all fucking Nazis, all right?
No,
which you are, but they'll laugh.
I've seen it.
They're Nazis, but they'll let you entertain us. That's it.
No, I love it.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
All
Later.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you,
guys. Appreciate it. Bye.